Hey man, so just gonna ramble about loons and what I've learned about them, what they're good at, what they're not good at, that type of thing. The first thing that I've learned about loons is they're situational, but they situationally rock. For example, small bases they do very well against. Um, for example, my base that I'm sure you've maybe seen a lot. That I've been using this base for a really long time. It is very weak to loons, even though the air defenses are high level and everything's somewhat high level. The problem is that four rage spells. Let me bring this up. Four rage spells can cover, and those are horrible circles. You get the idea. Four rage spells can cover the majority of my base. So what that means is that loons will have a speed boost throughout my entire base, and it's not a very far travel time for most of these buildings. And the speed of the loons is the greatest handicap they have. That's pretty much why you use rage, is because, well, air defenses are going to shoot them down regardless if you've got a heal on them. So rage gives them a huge speed bonus, and they just kick ass under rage. Yeah, like a couple piles of loons or just a wall of loons released right here on my base after, of course, killing the clan castle would just completely decimate this base. No defenses would stand. There'd probably be about 7 or 8 loons left towards the end for cleanup. But one thing that will definitely kill loons is the clan castle. And why that is because they'll all bunch up and then, 2 wizards will shoot and the whole pack will die. That's pretty much one of the biggest problems with loons, and so you got to have a plan for dealing with the clan castle every single attack when you're going to be straight looning. And how I would recommend doing that, this base is kind of a bad example because it's trapped, but I would bring maybe a couple of loons that you could drop on a defensive building that's within range of the clan castle so you can get the pull. If it's going to be a really hard clan castle pull, I would recommend using maybe, I don't know, 6, 7 loons and bringing down 3 or 4 buildings, maybe using a rage spell. Make your clan castle pull actually mean something, do something, achieve something, if you're going to have to sacrifice the loons anyways to get it. This base actually, these up here are to take out loons, but you could loon those Teslas pretty easily, and then they would get to the archer tower and the cannon, and then get the clan castle pull. So this is more to prevent hogs, which are the typical clan castle pull unit. The loons can do a great job. Also, loons will not pull ground troops like hogs. For example, hogs only attack hogs, so a loon won't pull them because the hog won't come out because it can't attack the loon. So keep that in mind. If you see a 25 clan castle and like 10 troops come out and there's no way in hell it adds up to 25, there's probably something in there that only attacks ground, like barbarians or goblins, or I don't know, something stupid, a Valkyrie, for instance. Witches, wizards, archers, those will all come out. Those are the pretty standard things. But it's something to consider, especially if there's a huge amount of clan castle left over. Actually, I don't even know why I'm talking about that, because if you're going to be using all loons anyways, it doesn't matter. If they only attack ground, what can they do to your loon force that's going to swoop in and stomp what I think is an awesome base that has a couple of main flaws, loons being the main one. The other thing that's pretty common with looning, and you can't really do it very well against this base. Okay, yeah, you can. See how this air defense doesn't cover that cannon very well? Basically, the loon is going to sit a little bit off center, like right here. And so 2 loons will take out this cannon, which is a very efficient trade. 2 loons for each defense will leave you like 5 or 6 loons left over in the end. So anytime you can get a 2-for-1 trade or a 1-for-1 trade on, say, a cannon or a point defense that's out of the air defense's range, like this archer tower is a perfect example. 2 loons will take that out and get the clan castle pull, and I don't have anything to guard that archer tower or that cannon really. So those are freebie buildings for you. No matter what attack strategy you use for the rest of your Clash of Clans history, You can get those freebie buildings that people don't guard very well with their air defenses, and I'm guilty of that. I know about it. It's something I preach, and it's hard to build a base where the air defenses cover the entire base. So it just happens. There's going to be towers left out. I mean, if you're not even looting, let's say you're doing a go wipe, it's still a good idea to use 2 loons for each air defense, or for each defense if you can get it, because it's a good trade. Let's roll right into the next thing. Bases you don't want to attack with loons are spread out bases. One thing that is good for when you're attacking with loons is air defenses that are close together, because the loons will get them out of the way quicker. Air defenses that are spread out, unless they're on the borders where your loons can easily reach them, it's harder. It's harder to take out spread out air defenses. Oh, and one thing I've learned the hard way is, see this air defense? It's going to take 1 bomb and 2 balloon crashes to take out that cannon. This air defense will destroy a loon. So if you only drop 1 loon, it's going to drop a bomb, air defense is going to destroy it, and then it's going to crash on the cannon. The cannon's going to live with a sliver of health. So you need two loons, and then the second loon is just going to go a little ways and die. Same with the archer tower. The archer tower is going to kill the first loon. Right when it gets on top of it, it's going to crash into it. So you need to send 2 loons for archer towers. Wizard towers need 2. Teslas need 2 unless they're below level 5 or 5 or below. Distance also factors in. Mortars need 1. Cannons typically need 2. Maxed out archer towers only need 2. Air defenses require at least 4 if they're close by, because the air defense can typically kill 2 before the loons are right on top of it. Then those loons will get 2 crashes and a bomb, which will kill it. And what else should I cover with this? Loons are an effective way of dealing with seeker mines, because it's 5 housing space for 1 seeker mine, where a dragon is 20 housing space for 1 seeker mine. And like a lava hound is 30 space and takes 3 seeker mines, so it's like 10 space per seeker mine, which leaves the loon as the most efficient way of dealing with seeker mines if you know where they are and you want to do a dragon. Getting the loon out ahead to take out a seeker mine, great trade if you can do it. Very efficient. So, the bases that loons are bad against, let's go look at one of my other bases I use. This base is Go Wee Wee and Go Wipe weak, but it's very loon and La Loon strong. This one. And I say that because the air defenses are relatively spread out, and the base is rather large. I think there's like 8 or 9 compartments versus that other one had about 14 compartments. The more compartments, the smaller it is, because the smaller you have to make the compartments due to the wall issues. So yeah, this one, you're going to have a hard time looning it, because rage spells aren't going to cover the entire base, and there's going to be lots of gaps and lots of travel time, and air defenses are going to have free range on your loons and all that travel time. I would really not recommend looning this base. And what this means in war is you scroll through the Town Hall 9s or the Town Hall 8s, and when you see a small base that's pretty compact, you just be like, mine, bitch, and then you freaking rape it. And typically with your loon deployment, this base is a bad example, you want to put them in a wall, because anything more than 2 or 3 loons on each defense is kind of a waste of bombs, and they take so long to drop bombs, they take so long to travel. You want to get the most bombs dropped in the most amount of time. So for attacking this base, I mean, I would put like 6 here, 6 here, 6 here, 6 here, and then I would have a backup that I would just send right down the gut of, I don't know, however many loons you have left. And that would be your main force that's going to go down the gut and do most of the work. The other thing I forgot to cover is the Archer Queen. She will 3-shot pretty much any Archer Queen that's level 5 or above. She's going to 3-shot your loons, and she fires really fast, so your loons are going to go down really quickly. And the worst part is the Archer Queen doesn't count as a defense, so you're bombs on her. The whole radius of her defense range, she is going to mess up any loons that enter. So you usually want to have a plan for dealing with her. It's really nice when she's on the outside of a base because you can drop the Barb King. He'll walk over and you'll hit his power and he will slap the crap out of her and she'll be dead. And that's a pretty good trade. Barb King usually almost always beats Archer Queen unless Archer Queen is really high level, just because the Barb King has so much health, and by the time he walks up to her, he does a decent amount of damage, and she doesn't have very much health. Archer Queen's more of a ranged, high damage specialist, but that doesn't really affect the king. And women, am I right? Yeah? Yeah, no. Okay. Oh no! My epic pin crashed. Okay, cool. It's working again. Let's see. This base does have this archer tower isn't even covered by these air defenses. So yeah, go to town on that. This air defense right here, or this archer tower, that's a freebie. I dropped 2 loons on that for sure, no matter what attack you're doing. There's also something I wanted to show you. So that attack, you can lure the clan castle out to a corner with like an archer or something, like an archer up here. He doesn't know there's bombs there, but yeah. And then when they all pile up, you can drop a single loon. They'll shoot the loon and it'll fall down and kill them all in one big boom. I was practicing with it a few days ago. I tried it out in matchmaking. It's pretty cool. It's pretty actually freaking cool. It takes a little bit of practice because the loon's going to go the direction of the nearest defense, so you have to line up the clan castle troops in between it, and then you have to estimate how far the loon is going to go before the loons kill them. So that's a pretty cool way of killing the clan castle. You can also just use a dragon to kill it. Whatever comes out, unless there's 2 witches, because then it'll just shoot the skeletons forever until the witch eventually kills it, which will be forever. But hey, dragon won't get the job done. Wizard towers can mess up loons pretty well. I would advise bringing 1 heal spell if, like for example, if you're gonna have a big pack of loons, like they're gonna take out all these defenses here in the core, or not in the core, but in this compartment, and then that's gonna bunch them all up for this wizard tower. I would bring a heal spell because that wizard tower might kill or severely weaken like 8 or 9 of your loons, which is no bueno for the rest of the days. I'm going to get out of this now, is that there's a strategy called Loonian, which in my opinion is our strategy that's kind of consistent, and I don't really like it. I'm not a huge fan. Oh, why is it so slow? You basically just loon and then you send in minions afterwards, and the minions take advantage of the rage spells, and they usually get the town hall. But because you're trading minions for loons, it's a 2-star strategy because the loons are what's going to get you a 3-star, going to bring down all the defenses. But probably the best thing you can do with loons is a strategy called Loonian, or Lava-Loonian, or Quattro Lava-Loonian. It's got all kinds of different names because it's relatively new. And what the general idea is you use hounds to tank for the loons. And this works out great because when the hounds pop, 8 lava pups come out, which are basically minions, and then those minions help with the cleanup, which is awesome because one of the problems with loons is they're so slow and they kind of suck on cleanup. And if there's not very many loons left, you might not get a 3-star just because it'll take the loons forever to fly everywhere. But having, I don't know, like 15 or 20 or 30 lava pups running around after your loons go past them, they'll clean up the whole base. By the time the loons are done with finishing up the defenses, there won't be much of a base left. Which, those lava pups are honestly the best strength of the lava hound. The lava hounds aren't that expensive either. They're only like $350, $450 or something like that when they're maxed out a piece. And they are 30 housing space, which is kind of a pain in the butt. If you're watching this, I went to our Facebook page, went to the notes section, went to research notes, and why did I link this guy? He does not know what he's talking about. I am sorry about that. Jeez. One Hive Clash of Clans, and And la 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 la. These guys, I think, do a pretty good Loonian how-to video. Back strategies? No, no, no. Theorycraft, maybe? Nope. Okay. It's not one I do remember seeing a pretty good video. I think it was Nightly Gaming. Type in Nightly Gaming on YouTube. Go to the playlist. Lavaloonian. So here's everything you'll need to know on Lavaloonian, which is a much more popular strategy than Loonian, because Loons have an issue with dealing with the Archer Queen when she's centralized. And Lavaloonian doesn't have that issue because the Archer Queen can bang on the Lava Hound all she wants. When it pops, the Lava Hounds will take care of the Archer Queen, problem solved. That's one of the main weaknesses to Loonian. And the base size for Lavaloonian isn't as much of a factor. So, yeah. Here's Lavaloonian. I think that's the next thing you should transition to if you want to use Dark Troops. Loons will situationally get you a lot of 3 stars. And you can probably get good with using just Loonian and using the minions and the heroes afterwards to go in and get the 2nd star if you don't think the 3rd star is available. You could also potentially use dragons instead of minions to clean up. Like maybe loon half the base, and then that'll expose the town hall, then use 3 dragons to get to the town hall. The loons will have cleared out the seeker mine, so dragons should do pretty well at town hall 9 in that situation. Anyhow, let me know what you think, and hopefully this helps. I think that's everything I can think of that I've learned about loons. It doesn't really sound like much now that I'm saying all of it. So yeah, maybe you can be the what's the word I'm thinking of? It's like trailblazer or something, the pioneer for loons. My strategy has kind of just been to get rid of the Archer Queen, get rid of the Clan Castle, and then just drop them and see what happens. Which is a horrible strategy. But sometimes it works pretty well sometimes. That's how I've learned what I've learned. Anyhow, thank you, and it's cool that you got loons, man. Congratulations.